ladies and gentlemen, dude and dudettes. I am Matt Burns, and we have got a very busy week this week. With me being one host, I've also got JB, and we've also got a returning host who's more likely going to be a permanent host. It's none other than James Irvine.
Good evening.
Is it okay there, James Irvine?
Everything's all right, mate. It's as sweet as a nut.
That's all good. That's always good to hear.
Yes.
Always.
It has been another week in the world of professional wrestling, which means we're here to give our unique take on it.
And try not to float.
Yeah, unique being the kindest word I can think of to use.
Unique.
So, with that in mind, what were we talking about this week, Matt Burns?
Well, in actual fact, we've got to cover a bit of AEW.
Ooh. Because we don't do that often, so it'd be nice to have a bit of change.
Especially seeing as we have 30 years in the making, the 30 years of Chris Jericho.
Yep.
A little bit of the bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly.
You just made the list. Sorry, what?
And of course, that never happened by AEW standards. Anyway,
well,
then we've
like,
also...
if we're only going by AEW standards, it's more the 30 months of Chris Jericho than the 30 years, isn't it? Come on.
Yeah.
True. We've then also got to discuss the infamous, how do we say, mixed, views on the dog collar match for the TNT Championship.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of NXT talks in as we've got to do the fallout of NXT TakeOver 31.
Yep.
We've then got WWE talk. Oh boy.
Yeah, because we've got to cover the massive shit-smeared hornet's nest that is the draft.
Yes.
And what makes it even worse, that's not even the worst of it.
Really? There's something worse than the draft?
We've actually got to discuss of who is the leader of Retribution.
Retribution? You mean it's not Teabag?
No, it's not.
Oh. Or the other one.
What, Tabasco sauce?
Yeah. Which one is it? Tabasco, Teabag, Retrospective, Slapnuts, or the other one? Which one is it?
No, neither.
None of the above.
None of the above. And then we've also got to discuss of which member is actually gone already.
Oh no, they're shedding members faster than the core.
We all higher court of the end.
Are they going to become the next Nexus, or are they going to become the next League of Nations? We just don't know.
Entertaining.
Then we've then also got to cover a return.
Yeah.
We've then also got to discover a title match that should be happening on a regular SmackDown, but instead should be on a pay-per-view, possibly most likely WrestleMania.
Oh, yes.
Later.
And then we've got some non-wrestling news and the greatest moment of wrestling for this week.
Well, the epic moment.
Epic moment, that's the one. Which we think we've discovered manages to be both an epic moment and an epic fail at the same time, so that's quite good. Hashtag covering all bases.
Absolutely.
With that in mind, there's a shitload to get talking about, so...
Yes.
Oh, wait, that means it's over to me, doesn't it?
Yes,
that
it does,
certainly
baby.
does.
The following broadcast may contain discussions about professional wrestling angles, and indeed the discussions about them, which may contain language not suitable for younger listeners, listeners of a nervous disposition, and potentially other listeners. This broadcast may also contain strobe lighting effects. Yeah.
That about covers it, doesn't it?
Basically, we may go off on one. The soapbox may get a thorough dousing, and profanity may occur. Me. You have been warned.
Not me this week.
All right. The soapbox will get a thorough dousing, and part of that, we will turn the air bluer than the SmackDown logo.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But anyway, Before we get on to it, we're going to just briefly mention one of our topics that we always cover each week and state that we are full in support of them both, which is the Burning Truth does still support Black Lives Matter and speaking out. If you want to voice your opinion on how they've affected you, please please let us know, and we will designate some airtime for you, just as long as no accusations are made or anything.
Yeah,
or anything
only seriously. Oh, sorry. Go on, you first.
Or anything that can cause us to be sued for liability, basically make us liable for anything for us to be sued.
Nothing libelous, yeah. Only grounded things that have actually happened and that there's proof of and that have already been taken to the relevant authorities rather than just mudslinging, if you don't mind. Thanks.
We deal in the facts.
Yes, we do. When it comes to that, we only deal in the facts. The rest of the time, this show is largely our opinion. And we don't want you to think otherwise.
Yeah, pie in the sky.
Yeah.
I think that's about right. I think that covers us. Don't you think so?
I think
that covers
so.
Enough?
Well, I was desperately fighting not to do a Superfly Loves Pie reference there, but I failed.
No comments.
Thank you, Dwayne. You brightened all our lives. Anyway, shall we talk about that there AEW?
That there AEW, yeah.
Shall we?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's just go. At the same time, I'm also just trying to look up certain things.
Right, you're looking stuff up. I said, shall we talk about AEW? I was expecting you to dive in and take the lead there, Matt Burns.
Yeah, really apologise, but it's just...
No, that's fine.
Something just popped up that's just made me...
Scratch your chin? Scratch your head?
Hurt my head.
Wow.
Beyond belief, because I just don't understand...
It don't make no sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Where's my monster?
Bear that in mind. I've got it. I've drank it. Tough. Bear in mind. We'll bear that in mind, and we'll mention it in a bit. But
no, it's going to be covered when we cover the frickin' draft. But anyway, let's continue on.
But yes, we are going to first talk about AEW.
Yeah, AEW. 30 years of Chris Jericho.
30 years of the stupid idiot.
What?
Wasn't that one of his catchphrases? You stupid idiot?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He was also...
30 years of the Ayatollah of rock and roller.
One half of the Thrill Seekers.
Yes.
Jesus.
Not to mention the Lionheart.
Yes.
Lionheart, yeah.
And also Lion Tamer.
Yep. Plus Y2J. Armbar.
I was just about to say the man of 1,005 holds, was it?
Yeah. Number 673. Armbar.
Right.
Yes. Chris Jericho.
There's a lot to cover there.
There certainly is.
Did either one of you watch the match? That was 30 years in the making.
Yes.
Highlights.
Would you care to discuss your thoughts, please, Irvine?
Yeah, it was entertaining. It was a good, well, it was entertaining, but it was underwhelming at the same time. Because, you'd think after 30 years, there'd be like some big, massive, monumental match, especially with somebody who's so out there like Jericho. But yeah, it was a good, solid match, I reckon.
Yeah, from what I saw of it, it ticked all the right boxes. It did the job. It was perfectly solid, but it wasn't exactly the kind of glistening, look at me, I've been doing this shit for 30 years, and some say I'm even quite good at it, kind of spectacular you would have possibly expected.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's been like 30 years in the wrestling industry. he's put a bit of meat on around the waist area, and he's just a lot slower and lethargic than he used to be. But still, the man knows how to. He knows how to wow a crowd.
Yes, he
Yeah.
definitely does know exactly what buttons to press to get a crowd riled up. Still,
Yes.
That he does. Couldn't have said that better myself.
I always remember his debut when it was the WWF.
yes.
And
WWE.
it was really, really, yes, the WWE. Okay, Mr. Burns.
I'm just saying that for legal reasons.
No, it was the WWF at the time. They can't airbrush their own history out of history,
Yeah.
no matter how much they want to.
Wait, even though they do by covering up by blowing out the old logo.
Yeah, but that's because that's so that a load of steel chair wielding pandas don't sue them.
I like that. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
I've got that image in my head now. Why?
Yeah. There's actually a meme of that.
What the World Wildlife Fund logo panda with a chair in its hand.
Yeah.
Holding another panda.
Yeah,
I've seen a T-shirt with that on as well.
yeah, it's good. Anyway,
My
Yeah,
thoughts
so-
on this. The hype was very real. I loved the fact that they actually had many celebrities involved in it, hyping it all up. Plenty of people talking about it. And what match have we got it against? It's Jericho and Jake Hager versus Serpento. Is it Serpento and what?
Serpentico.
Serpentico and Luther.
Yeah.
yes.
Aren't they heels?
In
think they're
theory,
tweeners.
yes.
I think they're tweeners, aren't they?
I think that they're.
I'm sorry, but if they are tweeners, with the way that Luther looks, really?
I didn't say it was working. Anyway,
It was a nice match anyway for Jericho. In Jericho's mind,
Yeah.
it was a nice match for him because he'd known Luther for a long, long time, 30 years. So it was just a nice reminisce for him, I guess.
Yeah. That I'll agree with. That I will agree with. But anyway, let's move on. Well, actually, let's not move on. Actually, I liked how the end of the
make your
the
mind
ended
up, you stupid idiot.
Yeah.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I thought I'd set that up. But anyway, good. But anyway, I liked how straight after the match, you then got MJF coming out.
Yeah.
And it looked like they were possibly going to tease, Jericho turning face. Possibly.
I can't see that myself, but yeah.
I don't really know at this stage.
I'll say this
of his
to you,
career
I'm
what
sorry,
it'll-
but-
what it'll do for him. To be honest, I don't see the point.
Regardless of it, out of the two guys, there's no way that MJF is turning face again.
No.
There's hell no way.
No.
At least with Jericho, he's got the 30 years behind him. Plenty of experience. Has always been an absolute, he's the demo god, if I'm not mistaken. And is always producing absolute amazing laughs.
He's
Would
always
you
been
agree?
able to reinvent himself really, really well. That's
Exactly.
Jericho. He's just he's like a chameleon. He's absolutely brilliant at doing that.
That he is. That he is.
He is absolutely.
And on top of that, it was just a nice little thing. And then they had credits rolling where Jericho's got all the credits.
Yeah, that was funny. That was
funny.
Near the end, Jericho's on camera 4.
I never knew.
I never knew. Who is this Jericho?
Yeah, that I'll give for the tongue-in-cheek laugh for it. But anyway, that aside, that was a bit, I'd say more of a highlight, a bit of a good thing for AEW.
Yes.
Let's get to the topic that is more divisive, the one that
A little bit more that, potentially is a split amongst whether people liked it or not.
Because let's just move over to the dog collar match.
Yeah, they're never a good thing to start with. It's one of those sorts of gimmicks that I'm not 100% sure why it perseveres, to be honest.
No. The match itself.
Let it die.
No. Let me cover it. I have no issue with this match whatsoever. It was for the TNT Championship. The match itself.
I have no issue with the
brilliant.
match. I'm just saying I don't particularly think the stipulation is one that they should do anymore. They
It's
did the
not,
best job they could with it, but it's
no. It's not limiting, actually, to be honest with you. They didn't do the typical... Because it's a dog collar match, we are not talking about the strap matches that you normally have, or the chain matches that they normally cover, where they have to tap all four corners. This was a beat down, drag out, beat the hell out of your opponents, make him, pin them, submit them, whatever you can do to get... Go on?
And get beaten up by a pensioner.
Yes.
We'll get to that shortly.
That's one of the downsides of the whole situation, yes. But
we'll get to that
I know
shortly.
You're saying it wasn't a traditional strap match, but the whole tying them to each other thing, it's played out. I don't care.
And they even had, I believe, Greg the Hammer Valentine there, who was one of the people who've been in this matches, which is a good throwback to the history of...
Did anyone else notice,
wrestling.
by the way, Greg the Hammer Valentine in 2020? Go back and watch him in 1989 on the WWE Network. He looks the fucking same! Not a day has gone by, according to his face. It's frightening.
And his expressions.
It's like really, 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 really freaky.
Yeah.
He's probably...
He just never gets old.
No.
He's probably sharing the Fountain of Youth with Billy Gunn.
Probably.
But anyway, the point being is, the match itself, an amazing match, personally, as in between them pair.
Yeah.
Between...
I'd agree with that.
What?
I'd agree with that.
But let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah,
on
okay,
the match.
after you.
Well...
Go on, Irvine.
Building up to it, I'm not particularly... I thought, it was great building up Brody Lee as this destroyer in AEW. Literally walking through Cody, winning the championship off him. But then going into this match, it just... I'm going to have to say it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
I kind of know what you mean. The whole... this man is unstoppable kind of aura that they work so hard to build, and then
you go into this match, Cody comes back with a bee in his bonnet, and next thing you know, what turned into him getting his arse handed to him in the first match has now turned into oh look, I'm amazing again because I've dyed my fucking hair.
Yeah. I'm a superhero. That my super strength comes from peroxide, apparently.
I'm really sorry to say this, but I'm actually going to defend that. I can actually
say his hair looks better dark than it does bleach blonde, but
no, I'm actually going to defend it on the booking
I have
side.
to hear.
Right, I can defend it, but I'm also going to at the same time yank it from underneath it as well. The defense comes from simply because the way they booked him each week, it was like he was getting worn down by opponent after opponent after opponent after opponent each week. Bearing in mind he had gone through multiple matches before he got to Brody Lee, had ribs taped up, had supposed injuries before he got into that match. So technically that could have been Cody not at his best. Which,
yeah.
straight away, in saying that, could also sting Brody Lee.
I was going to say, doesn't that also undermine Brody Lee's "I destroy everyone" persona just a little bit?
It does.
Yeah.
It does a little bit, which is a massive, massive shame, personally.
Yes,
because it's not. It's like, well, what the hell, right? So, for me personally, it just seems like it just doesn't make any sense if they're going down that road. Then you then got Brody then to build himself up, going through Dustin Rhodes, Cassidy, destroying everybody he can.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Cody makes a comeback, come at me, Cody, come at me. I want to rip you to pieces, which shows that he really has, has he got the mental side of it up. Now, take into account the first time around when Cody lost the championship, he had his brother, he had his family and everything coming out, and the Dark Order took care of him. Minus Arn Anderson, who didn't get involved.
yes.
And then this time around, Arn Anderson gets involved with none of the other family, and somehow Cody Rhodes wins the fucking match.
Yeah, so I am the all-conquering destroyer. Shit, a 73-year-old man. I quit. I'm running away. Ah!
Somehow retirement power somehow comes into play, and then on top of that, a lot of people are finding this massively, massively divisive, simply because did this just happen because either Cody wants to just dye his hair, or is it because that Cody actually had a television obligation that he needed to cover and needed to be off the air for a while, and he wanted to keep the championship on the TV? So let's give it to Brody Lee for the time being.
No, that's a way.
Comes back and he wins the title back. Yay!
I would like to believe what our esteemed broadcast colleague was about to say then. That is a load of old Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm sorry, but the problem I have with it is it does fit, and at the same time, supposedly, it doesn't look great, especially seeing as he's one of the damn owners.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and he's now down on paper as the first TNT champion, and now the first ever two-time TNT champion.
Although, has anyone else struck with the irony? He left WWE because he was sick of being pigeonholed as an Intercontinental Champion. And now he's pigeonholing himself as the second-tier champion in the company he owns and can do anything he likes in.
Because
He sucked. Sorry, what?
Well, anyway, he didn't want to put it. He didn't want to put the belt on himself majorly because that would have been too much of a Jeff Jarrett.
Yes, I understand that, but the whole point I thought was he was going
Or
to
Vince
be.
McMahon.
He was going to be AEW champion at some point because. What's the point in owning a company if you can't do that, eh?
it's still a champion, though, so it's just.
Excuse me.
Oh,
No. Sorry. I just gotta have you go back there, JB.
Yes.
Repeat that if you can, please. What you just said.
What did I just? What when I sarcastically said if it's
What's
your
the point?
company? It's
What's
your
the point in?
No, I think the point I was trying to make, and what I said was sarcastically, it's your company. What's the point if you can't do that? Referring, of course, to nepotism and awarding yourself your company's championship. I was being sarcastic.
Just thought to double check with you because not everyone does that. Just pointing that out. Not naming names on who doesn't. Not naming names.
I think I know who you're referring to there, Mr.
I
B.
don't think I have a clue, but I get the feeling I'm going to be kept in the dark. So let's move on.
I'll fill you in later.
Yeah, okay, no worries.
I'm sure you will. But anyway, let's move on, shall we? But the actual thing is, the match was fine and everything. It was just... I just feel as though... And there's even talks that originally that Brody Lee's been informed that he only had a week's notice to know he was winning the championship. Now, the original plans was for Cody to have it longer. So, could that be the case? Was it just a short state? Was it? But it's good to show. It's good to see that Brody Lee is ready to be champion or not champion. He is doing whatever's best interest for a wrestling company, which goes to show how much he loves the wrestling business.
Yeah, but way to make your talent look like a complete and utter waste of fucking time.
I believe that has been recently renamed the Jey Uso principle.
Yes, the Jey
Yeah.
Uso principle.
Namely, how to build someone up and then mercilessly fucking bury them beyond repair so quickly it makes you wonder what all the effort in building them up was actually fucking for.
Well, stop where you are. Stop where you are before we have to segue into that topic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Please.
more on that in a bit. But for now, let's stick with AEW.
No. I think that's it for AEW.
Oh, and apart from my sort of semi-regular bleating about how ugly the AEW Championship is.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it myself.
No. It kind of looks like the Divas Championship and the old WCW Big Gold Belt
It does, yeah.
got a bit too intimate with each other. It's not
I'm
a good
sorry.
look.
I'm sorry. No, it's not that bad.
No, it's worse.
No.
I was trying to be polite.
No, it's not Divas Championship bad.
No, that's solely and exclusively because it doesn't have any pink on it, okay? That's the only
purple.
reason why.
Yes.
And it's not and it's nowhere near as bad as the infamous Jeff Hardy Immortal title from Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, you just had to bring that one up, didn't you?
Yes, I did, because that was a goddamn awful championship.
You know, I didn't think I could hate
It's
you.
right up there with as bad moving things along swiftly to avoid a civil war within the Burning Truth. It's almost as bad as the original WWE Unified Tag Team titles. You know, the black straps with the copper pads.
Let's move on. Yeah, let's just go. Let's go.
No.
Right. Let's move on to NXT, shall we?
Yes, let's talk about something good.
Yeah.
Yes, positivity.
Yes. The
NXT.
TakeOver 31.
Great. TakeOver 31 was everything we want a TakeOver to be. Short, sharp, and bloody brilliant.
Yep.
Yes. And not 3 hours.
Yeah, not a bloated mess like every main roster pay-per-view these days.
Yes.
Get in. Match of the night. Oh, shit, no, match of the night. Oh, shit, no, match of the night. Wait, that's match of the night. Wait, hang on. How am I supposed to choose? That was brilliant. Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how you sum it up.
I've got my own thoughts on which match was the worst and which match wasn't the worst.
I have my thoughts on which match was my personal best and least favourite, but yeah.
But anyway.
Okay, no, I'm interested now. What was your least favourite?
We'll get to it after.
Okay. Are we going to go through the results so we can see
quickly
who won the predictions?
Yes, we'll go through the results for you, seeing as you want to brag about it.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
We absolutely do, yeah. Congratulations.
Yes.
On air virtual high five.
Yes. Virtual L to the loser.
In case anybody hasn't figured it out, I lost. I came in last place, and the other two decided to, go in first place together.
Yeah, equal first.
Equal first and second, now I get third. Damn it.
Yeah, that's how it works. Number one equal, third.
Yeah.
In the
Anyway.
Victoria, the who.
Anyway, let's cover the matches, shall we? Straight away, we've got Damian Priest defeating Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Championship. Absolute. What?
Yeah.
You loved it.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It just conclusively proves that the nickname Johnny Wrestling is not a wrestling bit of hype. Seriously. The guy, it's impossible to have a bad match with that guy.
Yeah.
And that's taking nothing
honest with you.
away from Damian Priest. I just want to say,
I'll be honest with you. At one point, I remember a while back, I didn't think much of Damian Priest personally.
When he first started with that gimmick, I didn't think it had a great deal of legs.
Yeah.
I am around about the time that I predicted he would win the North American Championship. However, I was starting to believe it, and I'm quite happy to be wrong because he's growing into the role quite spectacularly.
Yeah.
Could not have said that better myself. Genuinely. He has stepped up his game. Against Johnny Gargano, this match looked like an absolute natural fit. absolutely amazing. Although, really, WWE, I have one complaint in the entire fucking match.
What would that be?
Did they really have to fit in a dick kick?
Oh God, yeah.
This is WWE. Unfortunately, yes. But hey, it was in the opening match of the night. That's just,
The infamous dick kick. It's enough to incapacitate any wrestler in the WWE.
It's not that. It's not just that. What pissed me off with it is the fact that yes, we know Johnny Gargano's a heel. He doesn't have to do a fucking dick kick to fucking further example it.
I'm not even funny. Like we could have at least done a nipple twist or something like that, just to
No.
cheap shot.
They've reserved that for Candice LeRae's matches. Come on, keep up.
No comments. Anyway, the match itself, absolutely brilliant. I'll be honest with you, I honestly thought Johnny Gargano could have ended up winning at one point.
Yes, I genuinely could have. I believe I said I thought he would via some shenanigans means like getting himself or getting Priest disqualified. Didn't happen like that, but still.
Yeah.
Happy with the result because the match was brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolute brilliant match. Then we nipped into Kushida defeating Velveteen Dream via submission.
Possibly my least favourite match of the night.
Yeah,
No, not
I
mine.
was really disappointed by
Not
that.
mine.
Oh, no, fair enough. I don't get me wrong.
Still
Least
got
favourite does not mean bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's like, how do you rank 5 4-star matches in an order of 1 to 5, It's my least favourite. That doesn't mean in any way that I disliked it or that it was bad. It's just every other match was better. That's all.
Then I'm going to say that my pick of what I thought was the least favourite may shock you.
okay.
We'll find out when we go through the list. But anyway,
I thought this was
a perfectly good match. It just, like I said, it was good in a field of outstanding. That's all.
Me personally, I thought this was great mind games from Velveteen Dream.
That's what he does.
No, he's very good at mind games.
But anyway, let's on that, shall we? I thought the fact that he came out dressing up like a certain Doc Brown, a certain Doc.
Yes.
Because
a reference to Kushida's nickname, the Time Splitter, I would imagine.
Well, basically the fact that Kushida comes out looking like he's dressed up like Marty.
Yeah.
Which was a very clever, but Kushida was having none of it and absolutely beat the living crap out of him.
Yes.
Now, for me, the issue was with this match is who's heel and who's face by the end of it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that because
It put that serious doubt, but at the same time, I thought at least with Kushida, it is setting the example of I am not to be toyed with. I am not to be messed around with. I do not play
good.
games, which was a good place. But at the same time, I think the reason why they did what they did is to take Dream out and off TV due to certain ongoing allegations outside of wrestling.
Which is a shame, but, well, let's put it this way. They need to be dealt with, so, yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The match itself, I thought was brilliant.
Like I said, good in a field of excellent.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about it. Anyway, the next match.
Santos Escobar with Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendez.
Just as an aside,
Mendoza.
Yeah, just as an aside, nobody was happier than Matt Burns when El Hijo de Fantasma changed his name because Matt Burns couldn't say it for love nor money. But now that he can say Santos Escobar, so everything's fine.
Fuck off.
Granted. Anyway. Santos
Escobar
with
defeated
Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza defeated Isaiah Swerve Scott.
For the NXT
And thus
Cruiserweight Championship.
Retained the NXT Interim Cruiserweight Championship.
Did we get that one right? Yes, we did, didn't we?
We did, yes.
No.
Wow.
No. You didn't.
I'm pretty sure I did.
JB did.
Oh, we did.
No, JB did. You didn't.
Oh no, I went for Swerve. Apologies.
Yeah. I didn't. I thought this was a little bit of a case of like NXT is land of sensible. NXT is not main roster stupid land. They're not going to spend this long building Escobar up just to have him lose to his first credible challenger. And thankfully, I was right.
Just to base my prediction on the amount of randomness that goes on in the WWE, but yeah.
Yeah, luckily, Triple H knows to dial it down in NXT. It does still happen, but generally you can usually, with a bit of a piece of paper, a pencil, and a bit of working out backwards, you can usually at least work out why it's happening. It's not just like it is on the main roster when it's like, quick, this is bombing, do something that no one will understand.
To quote the scene from Jurassic Park, that's one big pile of shit.
Yeah, but at least it's not a case of like WWE throwing shit at the wall to see what will stick, where it's a case of, quick, change routine! Send our truth out there, for fuck's sake. Nobody's buying this.
Everybody hates it. Send our truth. He's the only one that they love.
Yes.
Even though his favourite wrestler, his childhood hero is John Cena, even though he's older.
Yeah, but that was funny.
But we all
Anyway.
know that's funny, yeah.
That is funny, I'm not denying that. But anyway, this, for me, was actually a massively entertaining match.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it the least out of all the other matches.
Well, that's how the Kushida match was for me. I'm not saying for a second it was bad or it wasn't entertaining, but it was just the one that works out at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, second.
It's kind of like the 5 matches are good, very good, excellent, match of the night, match of the year kind of thing. You know, it didn't fall below good at any point, but it's just got stiff competition.
The reason why I thought that is simply because, and it's not because of the result either.
Yeah. I thought that the way they did the ending wasn't awfully well explained either.
That's one. The reasons.
I mean, I understand how they did it and why they did it, but the commentators made somewhat of a botch of getting across the exact reason for what went down. And
it didn't look as safe for me. It was more the safety reason at the same time, which I didn't like the ending for. It looked like it was just a rush finish. On top of that...
It wasn't a safety issue I had a problem with. It was the fact that it looked like Swerve fell over. And his head might have landed one foot of the exposed steel if we were lucky.
Yeah. It looked more like it was more of a chance of an opportunity, not an actual heel thing.
Yeah.
And the other issue I had with it is the fact that I know they are building up the big finish and everything. But to have them both hit their fucking finishes for them to kick out...
Yeah, I thought that was a poison that only infected main roster championship matches, but apparently not.
To me, a finisher is called a finisher because it should finish the fucking match.
Yeah, there should literally be more protect. There should literally be 150,000% more protection on finishers. A finisher should not end the match only if, let's say, once or twice in the person's career of using said finisher, and then because of person on the outside put the person who's been hit with its foot on the ropes, / pulled the referee out of the ring, / the ref is unconscious. You know, it would have ended the match if all was going well, but all isn't going well, so he's got away with it. They shouldn't just kick out of him for fun.
This is what I'm on about. And what made it worse is the fact that it wasn't just, okay, Santos Escobar hit his finisher and Swerve kicked out. Swerve hit his finisher, hit a 450, so that's 2 finishes in a row. And Santos Escobar, who's the fucking heel, kicks out.
Yeah, like I said, it made less than no sense. I'm 100% with you on this.
Yeah.
That and the botched finish
enraged me.
That this was less than my favourite. It wasn't, like I say, the Kushida match was just slightly less, but that stopped this being as good as it could have been.
I switched off because of it.
Really?
It switched me off immediately.
But as in it completely killed your interest.
in the match, yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
Understandable.
And the reason being, and I'm not saying it was an absolute terrible match. That moment, as soon as that happened, I just went off. I'm sorry. That's basically the way you got, as I swear, hitting the house call, followed by the 450, is almost like, oh, it's Undertaker. We've been having a full match. I just hit the tombstone power driver, kick out of it on Raw.
Yeah.
It's a little bit kind of like Braun Strowman kicking out of someone's finisher at 1 because he wants to be the monster, you know? It's like, nah. That's not making you look strong. That's making that finisher look like a pile of dog shit.
Yep.
That was my massive issue I had with the whole situation with that match. It was just no, and hells no.
Making that finisher look like such a pile of dog shit. I'm surprised that nobody tried to slam Davey Boy Smith into it.
Yeah, pretty much. And personally, my thought is, as I swear Scott, should be nowhere near the NXT Cruiserweight Championship ever again now. While Santos Escobar is champion.
Kind of agree, yes. He has so comprehensively beaten him that, that should be it for that. I agree.
Yeah. And personally, they are building up Santos Escobar as the NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Yeah, really? Seeing as it's the first time they've actually had it defended on a pay-per-view?
Yeah. We all know that what they're building up towards is, touchwood fingers crossed, the accusations against a certain Mr. Devlin to be unfounded so that they could build to champion versus champion. That's what they're hoping for.
And on top of that...
Sorry?
Personally, I feel as though Devlin has done more for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship than Santos Escobar has, because I actually forgot he had the championship.
Well, the thing is, right, he never lost it. He's still claiming to be it. He's also claiming to be the longest reigning.
Yeah.
And WWE haven't come to him and censored him and said, can you not do that, please? So they're clearly allowing it to continue on the basis that they're hoping nothing comes of the accusations. And then they can have a champion versus champion match, which, based on everything I've seen so far, you have to assume Devlin would win.
Which should happen. Should.
Yes.
But my problem I have with it is the fact that Santos Escobar, they're trying to make him out he's a credible champion. So far, I feel as though he's done fuck all for it.
I feel as though he won it in convincing enough fashion, but they haven't used his opponents wisely to build him up, to make him into, a credible champ. I agree.
Or the fact that, he hasn't hardly even appeared as much. Or when he has appeared, it's just, he's there.
Yeah. They also kind of rely far too heavily on the other two members of
Joaquin Wilde and
Legado del
Raul
Fantasma.
Mendoza. Yeah.
Anyway.
And it just doesn't. And on top of that, him saying, "Oh, I beat you with traditional wrestling." Yeah, that's just basically
traditional wrestling. Yes, cracking the back of someone's head against a piece of exposed metal. Very traditional.
Or putting a mask on, or having your boys cheat for you.
Yeah.
You're basically just insulting Mexican wrestling. A little bit.
Just a little.
And that's where I switch off with the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
Well, I just
Escobar.
The moment he stopped being El Hijo de Fantasma and took the mask off, I didn't care anymore.
Because you just stopped caring because you just wanted me to say that, didn't you? Each week.
Well, I would have loved to hear you mangle that name every week, but sadly it's not to be, so let's not dwell on the past. Let's move on to the NXT Women's Championship match.
Oh boy.
Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
No gut shots in this one.
Yeah, the match that cost it me.
Really? Because you genuinely thought that the LeRae way which is a really catchy way of saying it, but for some reason, apparently, even though her name's Candice LeRae, she has to do it the Gargano way.
Yeah.
Whatever. You thought that would be enough?
I thought that the mystery person would have arrived by then.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
It cost
No,
Io Shirai the match.
No, NXT's not the main roster. They don't do things that way. And can I just say thank fuck?
Which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
I was
this match was great.
okay with this match. I have 2 issues with this match.
Okay.
other than the fact that you were wrong.
Nope.
3 issues.
Discounting that. Oddly enough, I didn't mind losing the predictions because I thought it was a good pay-per-view. The only 2 issues I have with it is they sort of John Cena'd Io Shirai somehow.
In what way?
Finisher, big move, somehow. Regenerate, I've recovered. Woo! Big move.
Yeah. Fair enough, I get your point, but you can obviously tell who Candice LeRae's married to, and the fact that she's obviously learning from him because...
Yes, which I'm fine with that.
She's Mrs. Dependable.
But then I thought it was a really, really funny jab when you had Gargano come out with the referee shirt.
No, I thought that was a stroke of comedy genius.
Oh, no, I thought that was a great stroke of genius because they're jabbing at WWE themselves over what happened with Bayley and Sasha.
Absolutely.
Which I've got no issues with. That was funny.
Yeah,
in my eyes. That was absolutely hilarious. I have no issues with that. But then to take a belt shot...
Johnny Referee. Add another list to
take a clean belt shot, followed by an immediate pin... I'm sorry, but you get hit with the belt, you're done.
Yeah.
You should be done. No, Io. You're not John Cena. Kick out!
I know what you're saying, but... I
would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
If it was a kick out, if the referee stayed with Gargano a little bit more.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
If you understand me. Because then you can turn around and say, Io had time to recover. Not immediately eat belt and then immediately kick out.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It is a little bit...
storytelling there.
Yeah.
To me, again, this is like... It's a pet peeve.
Yeah.
It's a massive pet peeve of mine. It's like... It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
No, I agree. But it's almost as much of a pet peeve of yours as the one thing that continues to irritate the daylights out of me about this person in question, and still your NXT Women's Champion, Io Shirai.
Yeah.
Considering her nickname is the so-called Genius of the Sky, she does the shittest moonsault I have ever seen.
Which, by the way,
I'm going to rotate beautifully through the air, land perfectly, and brush you with my forearms as I land. How devastating.
Yeah, you've not seen mine, JB.
Oh, well, that is a very valid point. I have not. However...
Kurt Angle-esque.
No, the purpose of a moonsault is to land on the person, not land next to them.
No, I'm saying it's Kurt Angle-esque. As in the style. Perfect.
Oh, no, I understand that, but she's graceful through the air.
No, I was on about Irvine's.
Oh, I see.
But anyway.
Sorry, I got my wires crossed there. Anyway, my point is, her moonsault is bloody awful. Like I say, the execution of the rotation and everything is fine. She lands, and you can't argue it's safe, but you're supposed to make contact, love. It's your finisher.
Yeah, true.
And bearing in mind that she hits that straight after she just did a fucking Spanish fly.
Yes.
That is technically almost the same as a moonsault, but with the person.
Yeah, if I was her, I'd
wait.
Spanish fly
which could be a match-finishing fucking move.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I'd use the Spanish fly as the finisher if I was her, but...
No, 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 no. It's not. It's her. She needs to. It's like she probably had someone. The referee probably had someone screaming down in. Tell her get it in. Tell her get the finish in. Get a finish in. Get a finisher in. Get a finisher in.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho's.
So yeah, we move on to the main event.
No, we don't.
Don't we?
We don't. Remember what happened after the match?
I'm sure I will slap my forehead and do my finest impression of a yellow donut-loving cartoon character when you tell me, but off the top of my head, no.
I had a problem with this over straight after the match.
Right.
You just had Io Shirai win the match.
Yeah.
Then on the Titantron, or on the extra screen, you then have Toni Storm appear, saying that she is coming to NXT.
Yeah.
No, Toni Storm. Tony time is coming, and I'm like, whoa, this is great. Didn't see that coming, and then straight after, immediately go to the mystery biker, and I thought to myself, is that Toni Storm? Is that who it was? Then the bike come riding round to, towards the doors where they are. So then coming through, it's like, oh bloody hell, Toni Storm's about to be on the show already. While they're setting up.
Is it just me, or did you not think that at all?
What?
No, I'm talking across you now. Sorry, to our third broadcast colleague.
Yep. Go on over.
I did, yeah.
You did or didn't think that?
I did.
Oh, okay.
It looks like as if, Toni Storm was on the bike, possibly heading, because with the black background and everything not making it very clear, she could have had the helmet off, and then by the time they got outside, she put the helmet back on and then drove.
Do you know the one thing that gave it away for me?
What?
The distinct lack of any hair that wasn't obviously black sticking out the bottom of the helmet. Because Toni Storm's hair is very much not black.
Yes, we know that, but anyone can wear a damn wig in a helmet.
But the point is...
But no. Not when the biker walked out. I mean, before, because you got a green and black tint. You can't see any fucking colour other than green and black. And if you're colourblind, you're
apparently
screwed.
I'm on my own in this particular broadcast, but I did not make that conclusion at all. I was just like, oh, Toni Storm's coming, lovely. Oh, now we get to find out who the biker is. I did not put two and two together at all.
No, but it was just very close to each other, me personally. Then, as soon as the biker walked out, and I saw the hair, like you said, I was like, oh, so it's not Toni, so... Okay, what's... Okay, let's see who it is. Unmasked. Ember Moon! Bloody called it.
Called it, yes.
I'm
wonderful.
fine with that reveal, but the only problem is they could have split up this bit of the segment a little bit. They could have had Ember Moon make the big return, and then Toni Storm make a big return on the next episode of NXT.
True, but I don't have an issue with how they did it.
No,
but I understand where you're coming from.
It was almost like, oh shit, we got two reveals. Let's throw it in at the same time. Ram it down your throat.
Well, no, I think it's good because the NXT Women's Division is already the deepest it's ever been. Like, yeah, chuck another couple of names in there. That's fantastic.
That's one thing that women's wrestling is missing, though, is just more names.
Yeah.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, I'm loving the fact that they are trying so hard, like with the Battle Royal a couple of weeks ago, which had, 20 people in it. I love the fact they're trying so hard to get new names over and establish talent as well, and actually be like, yes, the women's roster is as deep as the men's, calm down.
And we don't need Charlotte Flair.
Round of applause, because nobody needs Charlotte Flair.
Well,
yes, they do. Yes, they do.
They do, but not NXT.
No, the main roster is welcome to her because,
yeah,
it's WWE. They need her.
Fine, whatever.
In their mind, not ours.
Yeah, well, Anyway, moving swiftly on, the NXT women's division is epic.
Yeah.
It is. Because if you compare NXT women's division to AEW women's division, it is leaps and bounds ahead of AEW women's division.
Don't get me wrong, AEW women's division has some great talent, but it has absolutely no depth.
doubt about that.
No depth compared to NXT.
Oh, God, no. And it has, unfortunately, got its lemons.
Yeah.
Well,
However,
every roster has its lemons, naming no
However-
names, because she'll kill herself before the week's out, so it's fine. Shotzi Blackheart. But
I think
can somebody teach that woman the importance of a spine, please? Before
Yeah.
she smashes hers into 1,000 pieces.
Well, you do know what she's doing on the next NXT event, don't you?
Jumping unaided off the top of Hell in a Cell through one
No,
table into a rack of
she-
barbed
she-
wire?
No, she's actually the host of the next NXT event.
Is that because she's broken her spine?
No,
And can't be in. Why is she?
she's the host. That's all I know. She's
Yeah,
the host
no.
of the next big event. And I thought I'd announce the next big event, seeing as you've mentioned her name, and before we get to the main event. Have you seen what it's called, the next NXT big event is?
Is it called NXT TakeOver 32?
No.
Is it called NXT TakeOver Mind Games?
No.
Is it called NXT TakeOver Throw Shit at the Wall and See What Sticks?
No, we'll be here all day.
We will, because I've literally
but
got
it
millions
is
of things. Give us a clue.
They've actually brought back another WCW pay-per-view event.
Oh, epic! It's called NXT Coal Miner's Glove Match.
No!
Uh,
But it is part of that pay-per-view history. It is part of that.
You mean they have brought back the pay-per-view which begat that god-awful abortion on the history of wrestling?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, dear me.
The one that had one of the most epic matches by Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio.
Hashtag spin the wheel, make the deal.
Hashtag Halloween Havoc.
No!
You know what's going to happen there, don't you?
Wow.
It's going to be-
Hello, all the men. Have your matches as normal. Hello, all the women. Don't you dare come in without wearing really third-rate Halloween fancy dress,
Yes.
which is going to completely undermine everything that the women's revolution has ever accomplished. But
I
they'll
don't-
do it anyway.
I don't think they will do that. I have faith
Don't
in
get me wrong.
NXT.
I've been a WWE fan since 1986. I do not have faith.
I have faith in NXT, not WWE. It's not a WWE pay-per-view. It's an NXT one.
I don't mind in a Halloween pay-per-view. I don't mind them having Halloween in the title and the name, but
You
If
know
they
where I'm
do-
coming from, don't you?
yeah,
If
exactly.
If they do it,
It's-
it'll be like, all the men will be like, oh, that doesn't fit with my gimmick, like that. And all the women will be told, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, exactly. So then it's setting women's wrestling back again.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I
I
hope
honestly-
they're not, but I'm just bracing
I
myself
don't.
for the worst.
I have faith. But anyway, moving on, shall we?
Let's, because we've still got a main event to cover.
Main event, Finn Balor, Kyle O'Reilly. My God, what a match.
Yes. Perfect.
Perfect in every way. Had this match occurred like a year from now,
Take my money.
had this match occurred like 1 year from now, at the glittering end of Finn Balor's glittering 1 year reign as champion, that crowns him as the best champion NXT have ever had, I'd have actually put money on Kyle O'Reilly to win. But coming as it does in his first big show title defense, the result completely made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we all agreed with.
Yes.
But the match itself was absolutely epic.
It was, because Kyle O'Reilly is, I don't want to say wasted as a tag team competitor, because he's not, because he's incredibly good at it. But that just goes to show that's not all he's good at.
Oh, hell no. And I liked even how they hyped up this match. The fact that, you've got Finn Balor even crediting Kyle O'Reilly, saying he's been on my radar. He has been, any other night, any other person, and you'd bank on Kyle O'Reilly coming out with the win. But I am the one chance.
I am that 1 in 100. Yeah, I like that a lot. That built him up way more than,
And the match itself, it was just... I thought the little detail of that spin kick that Finn Balor hit on Kyle O'Reilly, you saw Kyle crumble.
Yeah.
Right, just from it. It almost told the story. It's like, oh, his ribs have been hurt. But then you saw later on, both of them, they were not holding back on them.
They really, really were.
Good Lord.
And you know what else made the match?
Go on.
2 men in a ring fighting for the championship. Rest of Undisputed Era, not
Gone.
involved.
Yeah. That's what I loved about this match.
Yes.
And on top of that, this is how brutal it was. Immediately after, you got the NXT injury report not marking down that Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor are potentially got injuries.
Yes. Finn Balor with what ended up being a broken jaw.
In 2 places.
And Kyle O'Reilly, I think, bruised and possibly cracked ribs, as well as possibly another injury.
I believe that is correct, but I'm just trying to look into Kyle O'Reilly's injury now for you.
Go for it. So what was your take on this match?
I loved it. It was great. Every single time Finn Balor steps in the ring, he just, pure gold. Every single time.
Absolutely. He justifies being the best. Absolutely. And he is, well, he's been, he is, in a nutshell, he is a picture of how to get lost on the main roster and survive and reinvent yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And literally, I mean, I fell out of love with wrestling for a while because of whatever reason.
Ooh!
Yeah. I don't regularly watch anything except NXT anymore for that, probably the same reason.
Yeah.
Ouch!
Literally, when I first saw Finn Balor in the WWE, I thought, oh my God, he's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. And he just proved me right.
Yes.
Are you ready for
First
the
ever
injuries?
Universal Champion,
Exactly.
It was going well before he got injured. Just before you jump back in, Matt Burns, because I know you've got an ouchie to tell us about what Kyle O'Reilly suffered. But
It's not just Kyle O'Reilly.
Is anyone
Finn Balor.
else, in light of the return of Finn Balor successfully to NXT, anyone else hoping that the next thing that we see on NXT that we're not expecting is the return of a rather loud guitar riff and a certain prize fighter? Because, my God, if anyone else is more lost on the main roster and just literally treading water from day to day, I don't know who it is if it's not Kevin Owens.
I'll get to that in a minute, actually.
All right, okay. Go on. You've been looking up the injuries that I believe both of them suffered, and by the sound of your reaction, they are many and painful.
Ow! Right.
Go on.
Finn Balor is not cleared to compete currently, as he's got from his injury from NXT TakeOver 31, where he fractured his jaw in 2 places and is currently on a liquid diet.
Ouch.
And Kyle O'Reilly suffered contusions and a swollen liver as a result of the kick from Balor and is not medically cleared to compete.
Ouchie.
Yeah. That is just the epitome of 2 wrestlers kicking the absolute shit out of each other.
Laying
Yes.
it all on the line.
And can I just be the first to say,
Yeah.
I don't want to appear vindictive here in any way, but
Yeah.
fuck Karrion Kross got injured, because otherwise we wouldn't have had any of this.
Yeah.
I mean, they shouldn't have given him the title in the first place.
No, they shouldn't.
And he won't be anywhere fucking near it on his return if they've got any sense. But I am so pleased he is the shortest reigning champion in history, because it put this in motion. And frankly, as usual, NXT main event, until the next one at least, match of the year.
The shortest.
I was just about to say, I think if anything, and
Karrion
you
Kross
never
is not the
hear me say this about any wrestler, it can only get better with Finn Balor.
It can. Hang on. From the Sunday to the Wednesday, 3 days. Whose was shorter than that?
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
I believe Samoa Joe may
I'm
have
pretty
had
sure his second reign was at least a week.
Mm.
I'm not sure. We'll look into it.
But anyway, least
However-
deserved champion ever, and he won't be back anywhere near it. Hopefully,
We're
fingers
not done
crossed.
with the injury reports.
Really?
No. Because we've got mentioned an additional one for what happened after the match. And I may have to give a bit of a spoiler.
Potential
this
spoilers
week's.
for the post-match shenanigans in which, after the match had safely concluded,
Yep.
Undisputed Era did get involved.
Well, not against Finn Balor.
No.
Because,
Again.
well, they didn't get involved willingly. It was more or less of Adam Cole getting manhandled and thrown over the barricade by Rich Holland.
Friend of the Burning Truth, Hillock Venezuela. Also known
Friend
as
of the
Incline
Burning Truth.
Luxembourg. Pick a stupid name for a geographical feature and a country. And that'll do. That's his name.
Right. The issue with it is they were hyping up Rich Holland from the segment. He just brutaled, Adam Cole.
Yes.
Threw him over, and there's many questions being raised. Is he the next competitor to go for the belt? Is he going against...
Is he simply going to have a match with Adam
Undisputed?
Cole?
What's going to happen? Well, it doesn't matter.
No? Has he done a carrion toss?
On the following episode, basically, Rich Holland is now undergone surgery after suffering an ankle dislocation and fracture, a right knee patella dislocation, and a patella tendon rupture of the most recent episode of NXT.
So basically, he's knackered his knee and his ankle.
Pretty much.
The moral of this tale is hopefully this will see an increase in a step away from a worrying trend that I've seen more and more of in recent years of WWE, and the moral tale, which I must post to anyone who is a wrestler, who is training to be one, or who would like to be one: wear knee pads! God's
Yes,
sake.
wear knee pads, elbow pads.
Well, elbow pads are personal taste, although, trust me, as someone that didn't wear them, with hindsight, I would recommend it. Never went without knee pads. My knees are terrible, so by the end I was wearing neoprene knee supports and 2 knee pads on each knee. But these guys that come out...
I thought you even wear that. I think you even wear them at your commentary desk as well, just as safety.
With Christopher Drew around, can you blame me?
Good point.
Yeah. However, the point, all these guys that come out in just a little pair of boots and a pair of trunks with absolutely nothing in between, do you know how sensitive your knees are? Well, you obviously all do, because you're all finding out, because you're all getting knee injuries. Wear knee pads, you muppets.
Right. And that is not the only injury we've got to mention.
Okay.
Dakota Kai is also not medically cleared after her loss this week, alongside Raquel Gonzalez against Ember Moon and Rhea Ripley, as she was suffering from back and neck pain after the match.
Wow. Can I just be the first to say, can somebody, I don't know, do something old-fashioned and stereotypical and resulting in some good luck in the general direction of both former members of Team Kick? Because, Jesus, if Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai between them don't have the worst luck in the world. I don't know who does.
And bearing in mind that Kai is probably one of the reasons that Shotty Blackheart isn't on the injured list as well.
What, because she landed on her?
Because she actually ended up protecting her by having her land on it, and probably one of the reasons why she has a bad back now.
Yeah, but she's the reason that Shotzi Blackheart isn't in a wheelchair, so I suppose
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Wear knee pads, and your spine is important.
Yes.
Don't break it. You won't get another one.
Yes, but anyway, we digress.
Life lessons from JB there.
We digress.
Yeah, but overall, great show. We all had our reasons, which were valid, for why we thought each of the good matches, ranging from good to great, was our least favourite, but none of them were bad. We didn't say that for a second.
Nope.
Another great
from
NXT show. The next one's Halloween Havoc. I don't know about you, but I can't wait already.
Yeah, pretty much. So at the same time, I'm wondering what the hell they're going to do right now.
Hang on. Halloween, is that happening in November?
Nope. October.
Oh, I was going to say, because end of October, start of November, yeah. Because
It's
we
an
know what they're
NXT
doing.
special.
It's a what?
It will be an NXT special like they did the Great
Yeah.
American Bash.
Oh, I see. So it's not disrupting the pay-per-view schedule, because the next pay-per-view will still be War Games, I would imagine.
I'll just double check that for you if you would like me to.
Yeah, if we just talk amongst ourselves for a minute, then Mr. Matt Burns can get on Google. Other internet search engines are available.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you know what I have to ask?
Fire away.
You're falling out of love with wrestling.
Yes.
Has it been rekindled somewhat, almost exclusively by NXT, like it was for me?
No, but to be honest, it was rekindled by watching the Attitude Era again.
Oh, I see.
This may shock you.
Probably
It's not War
but
Games.
Try it. What?
The next TakeOver pay-per-view is not until December 6th.
Right. And it is called...
They haven't got a name for it yet.
Then it will be War Games, because that's the traditional... Okay, they're not having it at the end of November, because unlike the main roster, where they can have 2 pay-per-views in successive weeks,
Yep.
they actually
Yes,
space them
2
out
weeks.
sensibly.
I think you'll be right.
Yeah.
It will be, because it's at the start of December.
Because all they're doing now behind the scenes is frantically going, okay, they fought them. Who the bloody hell are we going to have Undisputed Era face off against this year?
Probably Rich Holland, when he isn't injured.
Yeah, Rich Holland and who? It's not going to be 4-on-1, is it?
No. They'll sort something out.
Yes.
And they will. Or
Damn
I
you.
think... What, damn
to
you,
hell. You made me say his actual name.
baby.
No, not him.
Whose name?
Hillock Venezuela.
I didn't even notice that, though.
Lump Luxembourg.
But anyway, let's quickly,
Incline
swiftly
Madagascar.
move on.
Yeah, I've run out now. Carry on.
Because we've now got to get on to... Oh, good Lord.
We've now got to get on to Oh Good Lord.
Yeah.
What, has this become a religious broadcast?
People may want it to be after the soapbox is...
Hashtag soapbox.
On fire.
Mr. Burns has literally wasted that on her.
He really has, unfortunately.
care.
He really has.
I gave him an open goal. He did worse than Diana Ross in the opening ceremony of USA 94.
Ooh. Ooh.
Really?
Incidentally, that football is still in orbit.
Right. Let's move on. Because
Yes.
we've got a whole lot of ranting to do, and we've got to fit it in. God knows how much time we've got left.
Not great deal. Actually, we're not doing bad for time. I think we're only just over the hour mark, but still, the
An
point
hour and
is we want to
quarter.
wrap everything up inside about another half an hour. We don't want to go on for another hour and a half.
Yes.
Well, you mean technically we should be finishing in 15, is what you're suggesting.
Well,
we've got-
ideally, yeah, but let's face it, that's not going to happen, is it?
No, it's not. But anyway,
So,
let's
next
get on to it. Let's get over to Raw, shall we?
Yeah.
And let's get to the discussion of Retribution.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah, before we get into this, I should just use the opportunity of us tripping over each other a bit there to remind everyone listening, this is a live broadcast which is done by 3 people in 3 separate locations due to the wonders of technology. So if we do occasionally, speak over each other and preempt what the other one's about to say and stuff, it's because we don't have the visual clues of being in the same room. It's not because we're unprofessional idiots. Honest.
Yeah. Honest.
Hey, this is The Burning Truth, the soon-to-be award-winning show.
Yeah.
Award that we win, yet to be determined. But we'll win something someday, I'm sure.
We should make one ourselves.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me. Anyway, let's just get on to it now because...
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because we've now got to discuss...
Bollocks.
Excuse me?
Apparently, we've now got to discuss bollocks.
It is bollocks.
Oh, I see. You mean retribollocks.
Retro bollocks.
I'm fine with that. Okay, Retribution
Tabasco,
or Retro
Teabag,
Bollocks.
Retrospective, Slapnuts, and the other one. Collectively, retribollocks.
Retro bollocks.
And they've now officially revealed the leader.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Are you right if I do the big reveal at the end of this, or did you want to do it?
Can I do it, please?
Okay. It's now Tabasco, Teabag, Retrospective, Slapnuts, the other one,
And
Mustafa Ali, motherfucker.
Mustafa Ali, motherfucker. Is that his retribution name?
I
No.
was about to say, I know they've all got goofy names, but I don't remember him being called that.
That's not very TV PG.
Yeah, it's
No.
not very PG, that isn't Mr. Burns.
It's
unless
Mustafa
they're
Ali.
abbreviating it to motherfucker Ali.
It's Mustafa Ali, also known as Prince Ali. No, not going down that road.
Ecstatic.
Because my God, how they handled the situation.
I think our other broadcast partner will appreciate this, Matt, but it's kind of a bit like our double act was rubbish. Well, we had a great name, the Mighty Arsehole and Norman. Well, it was all right for you, Norman.
Oh, dear.
That reminds me, I think I might rename the other one the Mighty Arsehole. Oh, wait, no, I
No.
can't, because they've left.
Yeah.
Because we've got to cover that as well. Because somehow retaliation,
What?
name of your pay-per-view, could be potentially is now
after
actually
a pay-per-view
left, which
show,
was
yes.
Mercedes Martinez, correct?
No. It wasn't Mercedes Martinez, it was Retribution. Come on.
What was the
It
name?
is.
It wasn't Mercedes Martinez in a crap mask that made it really obvious who she was because she hasn't changed her gear at all.
It was retaliation, also known as Who Gives a Fuck, or the other
The
one.
other one, yeah. Well, and now it's not the other one anymore because
They've-
with a bit of
they've
luck and
gone.
following win,
So
she's back on
basically-
NXT doing something meaningful with her life.
Potentially, and on top of that, to make it even weirder, it's now it went from 5 people to 6 to now 5 again. In the space of days of it happening,
Shedding members faster than the corollary.
what makes it even worse is the fact that you got Dominic Dijak, T-Bar or T-Bag, changing his Twitter handle to it, Tabasco Sauce changing his to it, Recognition changing theirs, and Slapnuts changing his to that, even though Slapnuts is actually a better name than Slapjack,
Yes.
because one of them is an actual sexual act. And which one did WWE pick?
Well, so's Teabag. That's why I call him that. But let's not go there.
But at least slap nuts down
Yeah, but-
is more legal than slapjack.
But my point is, Slapnuts, Teabag, Tabasco, whatever the fuck else, and Mustafa Ali. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Why isn't Mustafa Ali called...
How they did it was stupid.
Yeah. Oh, also, just as an aside, anyone who is listening to this or who wants to get in touch on any of the Burning Truth social media pages, come up with a nickname that would fit with the rest of the ones we have given the members of Retribution for Mustafa Ali. Oh, and I know we use foul language and everything occasionally to express our dismay, but try and keep it PG. Well, as PG as we've made the others anyway, if you can.
At least a PG-13 will do.
Yeah, but try and come up with a name that WWE could have used to give Mustafa Ali a little bit of a tie-in with his so-called stablemates. Because that's going to be fun.
He looked into Retribution and he thought, oh, I know, Mustafa Gander will have a, it'll be...
Well, yeah, heaven forbid that he uses Chris Egan's Twitter name,
Yeah.
Mustafa Dance.
Mustafa Dance.
I'm just giving up on the will to live in regard to that entire faction, because how they've handled it was, to put it bluntly, piss poor.
To put it bluntly, they made a fucking cock of it.
No, to put it bluntly, it's bollocks.
It's a car wreck.
It's an absolute 9-car motorway pile-up, and it has killed 5 careers, because I think Mercedes Martinez might have saved herself by getting the fuck out of it.
It's like being kicked in the balls by a woman wearing stilettos.
Immediately after she's thrown her shot of tequila in your eyes.
Yes.
And immediately before she then rakes her fingernails down your forearm.
Yeah.
Well, I was pretty much.
Because it's basically a triple threat of all 3 of those things in quick succession.
Yes. But has anybody else noticed that Retribution are trying to copy another faction on another company?
No, they wouldn't do that, would they?
They would not try to rip off anybody, would they?
Let me see now.
And it's part of a group that we've already covered.
Would they be possibly aping the Main Event Mafia?
No.
Okay, Aces and Eights.
No. Just remember, when Mustafa Ali decided that I'm the leader, he did a certain thing with his hand.
Yeah.
Oh, now, a certain hand gesture.
Yeah, and we're not talking about the one that I always get called, but yeah.
And we're not talking about one made famous by a certain Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Or the one by John Cena.
Or the one by John Cena. Or Edge. Or anybody else who has any remote relevance to... Yeah.
But it is from another company.
It's from another company. And it's one that we covered at the beginning of the show.
Just for those of us with memories like a goldfish, remind me.
We are talking about the Dark Order on AEW.
Oh, of course we are. Because, let's, on the one hand, pretend that company doesn't exist. And on the other hand, steal all their best shit all the time.
Yeah. So, Mustafa Ali does this hand gesture, which reminded me of the Spice Girls in Don't Stop Now. But,
Please stop.
We won't go there with that one. So, but yeah, the Dark Order do something very similar, but they cup their hand. And it just... I saw it and I crawled up my own arse.
I love that turn of phrase.
I cringed so
Human
bad.
ring donut.
I cringed so bad that it was like I just shoved a pack of sour Haribos up my butthole.
Was it a bit like you've met a fellow adult who is in the same rough age bracket as you somewhere, either, I don't know, a wrestling training school or at a wrestling show or something, and in response to you telling them that John Cena is somewhat overrated, they have waved the back of their hand in front of their face a couple of times?
Yeah, like a proper man-child.
Yeah. So, as if this whole shit show charade of a fucking crap faction, League of Nations 2.0, wasn't bad enough, they've made it worse by stealing some Dark Order shit.
Yeah,
Oddly,
exactly.
oddly enough, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we've actually had a message in over Prince Ali's name.
Already?
Yeah, they actually say Prince. They actually say Prince Ali sounds perfect.
Prince Ali.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And that will be from Teak, I believe it is. So just thought to give a shout out to Teak.
Appreciate the actual rapid turnaround. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Prince Ali.
So it looks like it's sticking.
Yeah.
Just going back to what we were saying about chucking shit at a wall and hoping that some of it sticks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Mustafa Ali, that is currently what has happened.
Yes.
And not only was it just a bit of shit, it was a truckload of shit.
They have literally dug out a hole big enough for 5 graves, ironically, given the careers of the people involved, and that sized amount of shit. And they haven't thrown it at the wall, they've thrown it directly at poor Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, they've literally buried him in it, basically.
Absolutely. He's literally just the top of his head and 2 eyeballs sticking out of a mountain of shit.
And unfortunately for him, he is not going to have the type of career where he fall into a pail of shit and come out smelling of roses.
He is not, because unfortunately, Teflon main event player who can play down this kind of shit and go on to have a long and title-filled career, he is not, unfortunately.
And before you continue on, I just thought to just give a bit of a quick additional shout out. You're welcome, Teak. You're welcome, Teak, for it. You messaged us, so we thought we could give you the shout out.
Absolutely. That's what we asked for, you know. I
genuinely
because
they actually responded back and saying thank you for the shout out.
He's welcome.
She is welcome.
Yes, I was not expecting anyone to respond, so the fact that you have has pretty much made my day. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you know, always welcome, especially any feedback that we get, like we just had just live.
Yeah,
is welcome. And in case if anybody wants to know where it was sent to us on our social media through Facebook.
Ah, sweet. Because of course this is done for your entertainment. So yeah, the more you get involved,
please get involved, interact with us. We love it.
Yeah, great.
And take into account how quick that was actually live.
Yeah, it's the Sean Keaveney approach, isn't it? The more you interact, the less I have to come up with my own content. Everybody wins.
Pretty much.
And we've lost him.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway,
and we've successfully managed to make Matt Burns dissolve. And I didn't even mention Booker T or a certain other thing of his, which I'm not going to mention this week.
I'm not even bothered if you mention him right now because
do you mean the Booker T Room of Candles?
I'm not even bothered right now.
Currently under the ownership of Aleister Black? Yes, I do.
I'm not even bothered. That's not even going to get me angry right now.
Fair enough. What about if we mention the Japanese shampoo commercial?
Yeah.
Nope. Not going to make me angry.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, he's really...
He's chilled.
Yeah.
He's good.
What have you taken?
However, I did I will say one thing that did upset me. I did hear you utter a name. Irvine.
So.
Fuck off with that.
But I haven't
That
even
will anger
remotely
me.
complained once that that's not how you spell Jackson, Riker.
Whoops.
Still gets me laughing every time. And
Before we
that's
degenerate
not
into
how
abrasive
you cut a promo on Twitter, Riker, either.
Yes. Before we
Anyway,
into let's throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, greatest hits
let's
of
just
the
go
Burden
back.
Truth. Let's move on.
Let's move on, because at the same time, let's just state this now. Retribution Leader is Prince Ali,
Yeah.
fantastic as he is, Ali Ababa.
Prince
Not
Ali,
to quote
awesome is he.
Yep, and we're not quoting anything from Disney, so please don't sue.
Oh, please stop the Disney shite. We're going to get sued to buggery, quite apart from eating to fuck.
Anyway, let us get back to it, because we've got a lot to cover, because before we even get to the damn draft, we've got to talk about the fact that we had a return on SmackDown.
We did.
Yes, we had Lars Sullivan make a return. The Freak, who doesn't look like a freak.
No one cares.
No, that's the problem. No, that's my big problem. When his music hit, nobody had a massive reaction. Overly, they didn't even have the crowd audio that they got. Probably, they didn't have the sound guy change the reaction to the crowd to, "Oh my god," to just, huh?
Yeah, which is a real shame, because that entrance music is about the best thing about Lars Sullivan.
Which they might have tweaked, and on top of that, you got Michael. Oh my god, it's the Freak! To reference his name, even though he looks less of a freak now because he's got a full-grown beard and just looks like a big guy.
Now he just looks like a generic bruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks like what Lou Ferrigno's shit would look like.
He kind of now, I've got to be honest, he kind of looks like the bastard love child of Braun Strowman and Heidenreich.
I cannot unsee it. I cannot
I
unsee
had
it.
to mentally picture it, so I was only going to share it.
I am mentally scarred.
You are.
I am going to go into therapy.
Out of that one, that pile of shite.
So from here henceforth on, if I refer to Strowman Reich, you know who I'm talking about.
Roman Reich.
Oh my god. What makes it even worse is the fact that we know the reason why he's been off TV. Not just, yes, he did have certain other issues aside from it,
Which have obviously been resolved because he's back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
which is always good, especially in regards to what day it was yesterday, which we'll cover later. The point being is, he has
Second
been
job day.
no.
International
No.
Underwear Day.
No, we'll cover that at the end.
The national holiday of
broadcast.
Swaziland.
Stop guessing, for God's sake.
I
Let us
have
just
no idea. Anyway,
continue
move on. Lars Sullivan, yes.
Right. The biggest issue I have with this entire situation is he came in, beat the hell out of Jeff Hardy and Matt Riddle, and some of them, I will say, some of the beating he was given did not look safe.
Yes. Well, that was an issue that a few of the NXT guys did level at him the first time round, so it's nice to know he's been learning in his time off.
No, it looked like he actually might have concussed Jeff Hardy with a forearm.
Yeah, that's
and
not
Miz.
That's
Yeah,
not good.
He also attacked Miz for some unknown reason. Right?
Because
it just
yeah, okay.
we understand, but then which show is he on? Even though he just made an appearance on SmackDown.
Well, you would imagine, therefore, SmackDown, wouldn't you? I mean, logically.
But then again, we'll get to that why we don't know which show he's on yet because of fucking Raw.
But hang on,
draft reasons.
aren't we talking about the draft?
Later.
Oh, okay. I thought we needed to move things on. I thought that was what we were talking about now.
No, we're not getting to that draft because that will be the brain buster one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. Then we get a major match that could headline a WrestleMania or a big pay-per-view, which is Bayley versus Sasha Banks on SmackDown, less than fucking 7 minutes, and then pretty much just go, oh, we'll just throw it on the air for no reason, and then announce that we're having the big match at Hell in a Cell and just throw it in. Why even have this match on SmackDown when you're going to have the big pay-per-view match later on? Who cares? Move on.
No one cares, apparently.
And then we get on to Roman versus Jey Uso, which is still ongoing. I have no issues with that. The problem is, they're doing it in a Hell in a Cell. Fine, I'm fine with that. But let's extend it, shall we? Because the big dog gets to choose the extra stipulation.
He's not called that anymore.
He is called that because Michael Cole still calls it him every fucking week.
Oh, okay.
I just think he likes big dogs.
Just no.
Let's not go there.
Just no. But anyway, let's just continue on because additionally, on top of it, because Hell in a Cell isn't a stipulation big enough for them, they've now made it a Hell in a Cell I Quit match because Jey Uso wouldn't recognise him as the tribal chief.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to leave you to it for like a minute and a half because I need to go and visit the smallest room. Can I just recommend not drinking energy drinks while you're doing a live broadcast because this is the result?
Too much Monster?
Absolutely.
And other energy drinks are available.
Yeah. Other energy drinks are available, but do exactly the same. Right, you guys carry on. I'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you could have a name now? You could have a name. Did you know that? He could be part of Retribution as Ivana Tinkle.
I haven't gone there. I will get you back for that. Do not lose sleep. It's going to happen. And I will be back shortly.
We're going to have to continue on now. Please just tell me your thoughts on what you think of the Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, Hell in a Cell, I Quit.
The fact that I am deviating away from it says it all, really. Well, we all know what our feelings are on Roman Reigns anyway. The fact that I think he is overrated and extremely boring, and his moveset resembles that of a dying cat. It's just... I hate it. It's just, you've already buried the Uso once. Why do it again? And this time in a steel cage.
No, Hell in a Cell.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's still a steel structure.
Yeah, but anyway, the point being is, I think they're just going to do this to have him beat him into submission to somehow possible, because there is a rumour that Roman Reigns is going to have a faction and the Usos are going to be involved in it. So basically, he's trying to indoctrinate his cousins.
So, in other words, he's going to beat the living shit out of him again.
Yep.
Just because he wants to start up a little clique.
Yeah.
So he's basically going to be starting up a dog walking club.
Possibly.
As the big dog.
Just fuck off. Anyway. It's not great. And
it's not great.
It's not. It's poorly managed. I think Hell in a Cell would have been big enough for them already. I do wonder what Ivana Tinkle thoughts are.
We shall find out once he's finished his tinkle.
But anyway, we are sadly going to have to rush on. I believe that because we are going to have to get onto the draft.
Yes.
Seeing as I'm just going to beat around the bush now and just state them quickly. We've got, regular people who are going to be staying on the same brands, like, Raw WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, Universal Champion Roman Reigns staying on SmackDown, Asuka staying on Raw, and we've got certain people who are tag team champions staying where they are. It's just, I'll just go through them quickly. Raw gets Drew, SmackDown get Roman, Raw got Asuka. SmackDown gets Seth. Hurt Business, which is 4 people, stay on Raw. That's round 1. Round 2 is AJ Styles moving to Raw. SmackDown keeps Sasha. Raw get Naomi. SmackDown get Bianca Belair, who hasn't properly debuted on the show and whose vignettes have been on Raw already, but not on SmackDown. But now most likely going to be transferring over. So she'll be the Moviest superstar soon. And then Raw get WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, which I will just state that I believe that Mark Cole was quickly to point out they could be on all brands because they're the Women's Tag Team Champions. But basically, if they lose the championships, that's where they'll be based in. Then we've got, that's round 2. Round 3 is Ricochet staying on Raw because a lot of people are saying, why have you picked Ricochet? Doesn't matter because he just seems like a jobber lately. Yeah. Then Jey Uso is staying with SmackDown. Don't you think he should have been a lot higher seeing as he's the number 1 contender for the fucking Universal Championship? But not even going to touch that subject at the moment. Mandy Rose is staying on Raw.
Yep.
Oh, but earlier when I mentioned Seth Rollins, so straight away Seth Rollins is moving to SmackDown. I thought, hang on, isn't he in a feud with Dominic and Rey Mysterio and possibly with Murphy, and he ain't your buddy?
Yep.
So that's gone out the complete window. Oh, wait, tell a lie. Bullshit, because SmackDown have also now drafted Dominic and Rey Mysterio, so the fucking feud can continue, just without Murphy.
I think we're actually down as a male tag team as well. Mysterio and Dominic.
Yes.
Rey and Dominic.
Yes, even though they haven't actually tagged together.
Genuine question. Yeah, I've been back about 5 minutes, but I've not really had the urge to butt in. What exactly is a Dominic of Mysterio? Rey Mysterio means King of Mystery. What does Dominic Mysterio mean? What's a Dominic?
I'm not even touching that subject. That's his name. But anyway, let's just continue on, shall we? Because my issue with this is the fact that you've got now Murphy, who's going to be staying on Raw, and supposedly...
so far we know.
Yeah, and supposedly that Vince McMahon is high on Mysterio's daughter being on the shows, not in any other way.
As in... Has she done any training?
We don't know. But at the same time, she is also very much higher on Selena Vega, even though he jobbed her out to Asuka.
Mm.
But anyway.
Why are we not surprised?
But anyway, immediately after Dominic and Rey Mysterio saying, we're going to continue our feud because we're not done with the SmackDown Messiah. Really? Yeah. Miz and Morrison also move over to Raw on the 3rd round. Okay, so basically they're just moving over to Raw to lose to the Street Profits.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Right. Then we'll get to round 4. Beforehand, we get to round 4. I've got to break my brain again once more because we have another returns coming in. While Big E was fighting Sheamus, he successfully, in a, believe no disqualification, whatever, PS6 Brawl, whatever, that ended with the big ending through a damn car window, which was absolutely savage enough in its own right, and more likely going to hit Big E more than Sheamus, somehow. But anyway, we're not getting on to that.
Let's not
Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston return to celebrate with him, saying, "Oh, we're glad to be back. We look, good to be back. We hope that we can also get our claim to fame back again, and be WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champion." For the
835th time.
For then Stephanie McMahon walk past and go, "Okay, I'll arrange it later. You got a match straight away." Huh?
Sorry, what? So these days, your request to get a championship match, excuse me, can just to be within earshot of someone who makes the matches. Okay.
Somehow, and yet throughout this entire process of the draft thing, Stephanie made very well clear she wanted to be the focal point of the whole draft, so that's not a
Nothing
That's
new
not a-
there then.
nothing new there. But anyway, let's continue on. They then do the match against SmackDown Tag Team Champions, which is Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro, who have been absolutely amazing, and
Yes.
they
Which
lost.
was also on the next point you forgot to mention last week, that they
What?
were the match on the pre-show that
They
should
were.
have been
That
Yeah.
they were.
on the
They were
main.
on the pre-show and they should absolutely have been on the main pay-per-view card.
Yeah, and I was just about to mention it straight away. They were so good on the Clash of Champions that when their match on the pre-show should not have been on the pre-show, it should be on the main damn show because it's an absolute stellar match that they had against Lucha House Party. Absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend you check that out, which you can do on YouTube or even on the WWE Network for free
How for free?
because it's part of the kickoff show.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, but it's still going to cost you $9.99 if you're not subscribed to the WWE
No,
Network.
actually, it doesn't. Not for the kickoff show. It's free.
Kickoff show is free on YouTube.
Oh,
And
right,
on the
okay.
WWE Network.
Well, no, it's not because you can't access the WWE Network unless you pay for it.
Yes,
I
you
know-
can. There is free shows on there that you are actually able to access, I believe.
That's not what I'd heard, but fair enough. That's not the
But
point.
anyway-
We're making. Let's not dwell on that.
But anyway, the point being is, immediately then, they just won the SmackDown Tag Team Championships again.
For the 895th time.
They
Because
just
it wasn't boring enough before then.
they turned up. Yay! I like the fact that it's actually Xavier Woods and Kofi this time. But what broke my brain, if I'm not mistaken, when they win the tag team championships, don't they follow the 3-bird rule?
The Freebird rule, namely any two from three, yes.
Yeah, normally.
So technically
So
they are
then-
all the champion.
So then Stephanie come walking out for round 4 and announced that Raw have drafted SmackDown Tag Team Champions Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
And? No, you missed the
which
name
point-
there.
No. At which point Xavier turns around and says, say his name, say New Day, say his name. There should be another one, you've missed somebody's name off. To then go, and for SmackDown, Big E.
What?
Yeah.
Did WWE learn nothing from the initial draft all those years ago when they split up the Dudley Boys to universal disinterest?
Yep.
Right. So now, essentially, the New Day are now broken up, potentially. But unfortunately, are still having a 6-man tag on the following SmackDown when the draft is finished. Somehow in a goodbye match for the New Day.
So hang on. This is melting my brain.
Yeah.
Why are the New Day being split up? What is
No
going
idea.
on there? Is Big E gonna draft a New Day out
No.
of some other people?
I think they're probably keeping Big E on SmackDown to eventually feud with Roman Reigns later on in the year.
And they could have
Personally.
kept the SmackDown Tag Team Champions around for that as backup.
No idea. But take into account the SmackDown Tag Team Champions are now on Raw.
Yeah, I know.
Don't even get me started on that.
Supplemental draft.
Right.
The Street Profits, you're on SmackDown. Sod off, pack your bags.
Don't even get me started on this bit. Because I will rage in a minute.
Well, you're going to have to
Raw-
say it, so brace yourself
Raw-
for some rage. You second-rate
Raw-
Formula One driver,
And now,
you.
Raw now have got Dana Brooke. And then SmackDown have announced that Mr. Money in the Bank Otis is on SmackDown.
Hang on. They have announced that Heavy Machinery are on SmackDown.
Nope. Just Otis.
No. Just Otis.
Not even Otis and Thingy.
Nope. Tucker.
No, not even his love
Mandy
interest,
Rose?
Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rhodes on Raw.
Is this draft just designed to test everyone's patience?
Oh, dear.
To make matters even worse,
Yes.
WWE,
I don't know if I want you to say this, but yes, carry on.
WWE in their infinite wisdom have allowed Otis to put out a post where he's paying tribute to Tucker, stating that that he's scared that So, oh my God, my mistake. You ready for this? This is how bad it is. We've actually missed off an additional draft because during an episode of Talking Smack, Tucker was drafted to Raw.
Yeah. And Murphy was drawn to SmackDown.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So, sorry. They've broken up Heavy Machinery and New Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what makes it even worse is, I don't even know who the additional drafts are on Talking Smack are. But anyway, before we even...
All right.
We'll get to that shortly because we've got...
Save this just for a minute because we've got an almighty Matt Burns soapbox coming up.
Not yet.
Yep.
And then we've then got Angel Garza being announced for Raw.
Hang on. Is this injured Angel Garza?
Yep. Who's only out for a few weeks.
Oh, okay.
Not months. And that's all that was covered on SmackDown.
So he's not working with his identical twin anymore then?
No, but the problem is, he's already on Raw, so why the fuck why haven't they announced them both as a tag team?
Because they're splitting up all the tag teams. Have you not been paying attention?
No, but the problem is, they made it clear that Tucker is not being with Otis by not fucking mentioning him and then saying, "Oh, we'll just mention him on Talking Smack." So what extra announcements have they made on Talking Smack?
Cue the second-time Formula One driver.
Would you like me to tell you?
Yes, Eddie.
Please do.
You've got Humberto Carrillo. He is still on Raw. Murphy's gone from Raw to SmackDown.
I'm sorry, but hang on. Humberto Carrillo is staying on
Raw.
on Raw.
Yep.
Now I have an issue with that. Simply because I actually thought he teamed really, really well with Dominic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that as well, yeah.
Could have been a future tag team.
It could have been, absolutely, especially after Ray retires, but not now. Anyway, carry on.
Murphy has gone from Raw to SmackDown.
Because of fucking reasons.
No surprise there.
Drew Gulak has gone from SmackDown to Raw.
I think that'll do him a whole world of favours.
I agree, because he might not get ignored now.
But he most likely will, because he'll still be pinning our truth.
Kalisto, who gives a fuck about Kalisto, is still on SmackDown.
Former two-time United States champion, I'll have you know.
And also a member of Lucha House Party. So again, my argument what Kalisto is a member of Lucha House Party, if I'm not mistaken. So why the fuck have they not mentioned Lucha House Party? Which is 3 members.
Again, I'm saying it again because I don't particularly care about them. Who?
Oh, yeah, okay, fair point.
And obviously, Tucker has gone from SmackDown to Raw.
Which will result in the death of his career.
Yep. And then obviously on the 12th of October, you've got everybody else.
Yeah.
And you'll probably have some silly shocks in there as well. You've even got the free agents here as well.
You've got a list of current free agents. Go on.
Yeah, Becky Lynch, Big Show, Bo Dallas.
They're unlisted superstars. Eligible ones are Sami Zayn, Andrade, Aleister Black, Daniel Bryan, King Corbin, Apollo Crews, Dabba-Kato, for some no reason, Eric, Jeff Hardy, Keith Lee, Rick Moss, Titus O'Neil, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, R-Truth, Matt Riddle, Arturo Ruiz, who the fuck's that? Sheamus,
Braun Strowman, Akira Tozawa, and Bray Wyatt. On the women's side, you've then got Bayley, Alexa Bliss, Kamala, who's just recently returned, Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, Charlotte Flair, Billie Kay. Hang on. Why the fuck is Charlotte Flair on that list?
Hang on. Who?
Why is Charlotte Flair on that list?
Kamala, as in the male superstar, the Ugandan giant who recently died.
Kamala, I said. Billie Kay, Lana, Natalia, Peyton Royce, Tamina, and Selena Vega. But why the hell is Charlotte Flair on that list? Isn't she injured? No idea why she's being mentioned.
You would have thought so, but then this is WWE, so she is crucial to everything in the universe, don't forget.
Now, what I don't get is, suppose on this list as well, factions, Street Profits, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, they put down Miz and Morrison, even though they were fucking drafted to Raw, morons, in regards to this list. The Riot Squad and Retribution. We know Miz and Morrison are going to Raw. Notable unlisted superstars. I'll put Charlotte Flair on there because she's supposedly injured. Becky Lynch is not listed because she's pregnant and not currently competing. Jey Uso and Ivar are both injured, and their tag team partners are listed as single wrestlers. Presumably, they would simply join whatever brand they're on. Sonya Deville is no longer under contract for WWE in storyline.
Who is not? Sonya Deville.
Edge and Jinder Mahal are injured. Samoa Joe is currently on the Raw commentary team. Mojo Rawley hasn't competed since June 15, 2020. The Forgotten Sons have not competed since the 10th of May 2020, and that's not how you spell Jackson.
And to quote the NXT crowd, stay forgotten.
Bo Dallas has not competed since October 31st, 2019.
Yeah.
He's probably doing a fucking thingy. What's his name?
Yeah, I know who you're trying to say, and I've forgotten his name as well. Fucking Shad Gaspard. No,
not Shad.
It's the other half of Crime Time.
Yeah.
Help us out here, Eddie.
Has just gone completely numb from that.
What?
I'm just trying to remember his tag team partner's name now. JTG.
Since our broadcast partner wouldn't help.
He'll probably don't remember his name either.
Or he doesn't care. That's a running thing.
Yeah. But take into account that Bo Dallas has not been almost competed for an entire fucking year. Good Lord.
Good Lord.
And part-time and likely illegible are Big Show, John Cena, Bill Goldberg, Ronda Rousey, and The Undertaker.
Quick question.
Yeah.
When did WWE release Curtis Axel? On the basis they must have done, because he's not mentioned on any of these lists.
Curtis Axel?
Yeah, Michael McGillicuddy, former one half of the B team.
I believe he was let go during that infamous, the cuts.
No, I figured he was because they haven't mentioned him, but I just don't remember them announcing he'd gone. That was all.
Yeah, it was on April 30th he was released.
All right, okay then.
And did his 13-year tenure with the company. Yeah, so, oh dear.
Anyway, the draft is a clusterfuck, but is that it? Was that it for the draft?
I believe that would be the draft done and dusted.
Yes! My dreams have come true.
Which is an
has not
cluster.
raped and pillaged for all its top talent.
But bear in mind that there is another day yet.
Okay, message to WWE management. Don't you fucking dare.
There is also Raw. And it's 3 hours.
What? 2 Raws?
No, the 3... And take into account, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that out of these picks at each round, Raw gets an extra pick. And do you know why they get an extra pick?
Because they've got an extra,
for the extra hour
to fill. Yes.
But anyway, we digress.
As we are prone to do.
Right. That is the entire draw of the first night, supposedly, including the ones that were done on Talking Smack, for fuck's sake. Why didn't they actually put it on? That we're going to be doing some extra announcements on there, you arseholes.
Oh, because that would be helpful, logical, and sensible. And when have WWE ever been any of those things?
So in one hit, he's now just broken up multiple tag teams, some good tag teams that were actually handy. And by the way, and on top of that, I think that splitting up Heavy Machinery just basically buried Tucker into oblivion. And I can see Otis losing his money in the bank to the Miz's lawyer somehow.
Yeah, probably. Oh, not to mention they've also completely obliterated the New Day. Not that Irvine cares.
And taking into account that the only thing that they've got that they had going for Otis was the only two massively good things that they had going for Tucker was Tucker and Mandy Rose. And where are they?
On the other brand.
Well done. Anyway, would you care to cover your non-wrestling topic? Because I'm going to have an aneurysm.
Okay, we can do that. I think. Is it just me? Oh, you are there. I wasn't sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I would like to mention something outside of the realm of wrestling, as we are going to do occasionally. Because today seems like a good day to do it, bearing in mind it was a day of records in Formula One. For those of you who are fans of that, myself and Mr. Irvine are.
Yep.
You will be well aware of this, but 2 records were broken today at the Eiffel Grand Prix.
Which is quite a milestone, really.
Yes, well, 3 technically, because, it's the first ever Eiffel Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I learned today, interestingly, it was called the Eiffel Grand Prix, named after the mountain range that the Nürburgring is in, because the owners of Hockenheim currently have, as part of their marketing deal, the rights to the name German Grand Prix. Interesting side fact. Did you know that?
No.
Nope.
Ah, there you go. Anyway, the records that were broken today were most Formula One starts by Nick Heidfeld. No, I'm kidding. By Kimi Räikkönen.
Go, Kimi.
322.
That is
races.
That is insane.
Yes.
That's an insane amount of races.
Yeah, it really is. Overtaking the record previously held by Rubens Barrichello.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean,
I would just like to point out it pales into insignificance compared to the most NASCAR starts.
Yeah, which is just circle after circle after circle. Oh, I'm dizzy.
Yeah, but you think 320, what is it? 332, 33, whatever. 323 races is a lot. The King, Richard Petty, made 1,165 NASCAR starts.
Oh,
and with multiple left turns.
They do road courses as well, naysayers.
Oh, look what's coming up! Another left turn! Sorry, had to.
Neither of you have clearly ever watched a NASCAR race. Shame on you, naysayers.
I have.
But anyway, the point is,
I don't drink beer anymore.
Starts record for Formula One was not the only record that was broken. Well, I say broken. The other record was equalled, but it's a feat in itself. Something that I never actually thought would get equalled when it was set, barely like 15 years ago. I thought that'll exist for the rest of my lifetime. Bloody hasn't. The now equal most winning driver in Formula One history, tied with Michael Schumacher on 91 wins, is Lewis Hamilton.
Again, another
impressive record.
You just never thought that. I mean, 15 years ago, you would have thought that somebody had ever broke that again.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't think it would go in my lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I mean,
yeah, as the stat that Martin Brundle threw out at the end of the Eiffel GP broadcast when he won the race, I think there have been 1,035 Formula One races since 1950.
Yeah.
And of the last 500 since Michael Schumacher started in 1992, between them, him and Lewis Hamilton have won 182 of them.
Wow.
That's nearly 2/5 of the races held, won by 2 people.
Wow.
If that's not a frightening statistic, I don't know what is.
That just goes to show that there's skill and then there's skill.
Yes.
Definitely. Anyway,
and I don't
everything
understand,
covered?
just as an aside, I don't understand why everyone somehow manages to say that Michael Schumacher's skill in winning 5 in a row and 7 in total is when he had clearly got the best car in the field by a country mile, is somehow better than Lewis Hamilton winning what will now this year be 7 championships and 4 in a row when he clearly has the best car in the field. They're no different. Both are equally as frighteningly skillful as each other.
Exactly. The only difference is that Michael Schumacher was a lot older when he came back into Formula One before he had his horrible accident.
Yeah. And if you remember correctly, he did absolutely jack. I think he got 1 podium in his 3-year return.
Exactly. And that would be due to, I hate to say it, but old age and, just he'd been out for so long.
Yeah, I think he lost the competitive edge ever so slightly.
Yeah, as soon as he left Ferrari, it was just, he was...
Yeah.
That was it for it.
Congratulations to Lewis Hamilton, who has equalled the record and doubtless will beat it at some point in the 6 remaining races this season, because he's won 7 of the 11 so far. Or was it 8 of the 11? Anyway, and congratulations to Kimi Räikkönen on 322, or was it 323 race starts. But bloody hell, have you seen the time? We need to move on.
Yeah.
That we do. And because of the time constraints, unfortunately, we are going to skip the epic wrestling moments for this week.
It was epic, but we can understand that. So at least we know what we're going to talk about in this section next week.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I say that. At least we know what you two are going to talk about next week.
Damn WWE Draft!
How dare you be so shite that we have to rant on about you for a good hour?
Basically, what you're saying is, I was just about to say, were you cursing the draft because JB's been drafted elsewhere or something?
Yeah. Next week,
Retribution.
For 1 week only, I am the 6th member of Retribution, apparently.
I've on a tinkle.
According to the second-rate Formula One driver, Eddie Irvine.
Anyway, let's get on with it. Next week we'll probably cover 2 epic wrestling moments just to make up for this one, just to point that out. But we, so just thought we'd point that out, and we will most likely be covering some additional topics separately. But as for what they will be, you'll have to wait and see.
I'm not sure, but anyway, as we've stated, Retribution are calling, so I will not be here next week. But that means these two, the show will be in capable hands. They will cope admirably. You won't even notice I'm not here.
Yeah.
Well, you will, because instead of being 6.5 hours, the show will be half an hour because I talk too much. But that's a given.
If you wanted to, we can just put blow up a blow up person and just say it's you. With hot air.
I'll pass. Thanks all the same.
No worries. But anyway, we're getting to the plug section right now. Of course, I always recommend everyone to check out UKWA, also known as UK Wrestling Alliance. Yes, I know it's a bit of self-promotion because I'm the owner. Just to point that out.
Nepotism is running wild.
Funny. But anyway, we recommend you check out charitable organisations like Change for Health and Wellbeing, Change for Recovery Radio, Mind, Mess for Mind, Donna Louise Hospice Care for Children and Young People, and Cancer Research UK. We of course also recommend you check out the lighter side of professional wrestling, be it either Botchamania, you're welcome Matthew, Wrestle Crap.
Nice one, R.D. Reynolds.
And of course OSW Review, you're welcome OSW Review lads. We of course also recommend you check out Kayfabe Music, as they do absolutely amazing music. They do the theme music for The Burning Truth. We of course also recommend you check out Powered for TV, as they've got so much content being added on. We of course also recommend
TV, just in case you're confused.
Correct. We also recommend you check out all your local wrestling promotions, be it either FCW, United Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Feud, Future Shock Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Fallen Star Wrestling, Venom Wrestling Federation, Slam Wrestling, Wolfram Pro Wrestling, Barracks, I believe Barracks Wrestling Academy, and many, many others. If there is any that I've missed out, I do apologise, but there is an app where you can check all your local wrestling promotions, and it's free, and it's called Babyface Wrestling App.
Yep,
You
you
on
can
your phone.
also check out all your favourite wrestlers, including one Mr. M. Burns.
Excellent. But anyway, you can also check out the Burning Truth website, be it at www.theburningtruthuk.com. We just to point out on the website, any external links on there we cannot be held responsible for, as we have no control over them. We of course are on social media, be it Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. And of course, you can listen to past episodes or current episodes anytime, be it either through the website, Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Deezer, and any other available podcast or broadcast sources. That would be most likely a wrap up. And for this week, we have got our mental health message. It's not going to be the usual message this week because, just in case if anybody has missed off what day it was yesterday was actually Mental Health Awareness Day.
A day when everyone is reminded of the fact that what we know all the time for one day, which is everybody's mental health is their most important asset.
And it is.
Yeah.
And it's okay not to be okay.
Indeed.
That it is. And asking for help isn't a weakness. But before we go through the usual script, we always state to you, from time to time, make yourself a priority once in a while. It's not selfish, it's necessary.
Indeed.
And of course, the last one that we're always going to have to, the last two we're going to have to hit off is never compare your behind the scenes to other people's greatest hits. Tom Campbell from Cultaholic. And of course, if you can be anything in this world at this moment in time, please be more kind.
Absolutely.
Second that.
Yeah. And last but not least, we thank you very much for listening to The Burning Truth. We hope you all stay well, stay safe, and hopefully, until the next episode, which will be next week, check out your local wrestling promotion social media, and also potentially give who knows, just give a call to a family member, a friend, or a colleague, or someone you may know you haven't spoken to in a while. That call could prove massively vital. But until then, we'll catch you next week. Same time, 6 o'clock, or aim for 6 o'clock, between 6 and 7. It will just be myself and Irvine, I believe.
Correct, Mundo.
Correct.
Which should be very interesting. But until then, it has been emotional. Thank you very much for listening to The Burning Truth. Until next week, we'll catch you later.
Ta-ta now. Bye-bye
See
then.
ya.
Catch you later.